The ambiguity of the fall of the Roman Empire has been deeply debated among many historians and intellectuals alike. For was it Romulus Augustus merely a catalyst of an already fallen empire, brought upon by economic crisis, loss of territory, plague, military overextension, or was it all just because of Kasane Teto? Let's just think about it for a second. Instead of looking at this through a historian's perspective, because historians are gatekeeping the truth by removing Kasane Teto's involvement in Odoka's plight of power. Let's look at it from my perspective, because I'm more educated than them anyways. But how can someone whose age is meant to be 31 be alive during the ages of the Roman Empire? Well, you see, Vocaloid don't actually have an age, but are an estimate age based on appearance. But even if Teto was alive during the Roman Empire, how could she existed in an era without the space in which virtual singers exist? The internet. Well, you're not going to believe this at first, but Kasane Teto is a philosophy, an idea, rather than an actual person. This might sound like an outrageous idea, but just hear me out. The manner in which Odessa rise to political prominence in Rome is very similar, in principle, to the Eudoid Kasane Teto's rise to prominence in the internet. Let's just break it down. The origin story of the modern day Kasane Teto is that she was created as an April Fool's joke in 2008 to critique the systematic flaws of Krypton. Before she rose to stardom, becoming so popular amongst Vocaloid fans, despite not actually being a Vocaloid, she managed to reach a higher status than Vocaloids like Teto and Rico by following purely the laws of supply and demand, rather than it just being a battle with corporate conglomerates trying to push their IPs out. Relatively peaceful. This ties into how Odessa entered the Roman Empire with the Kasane Teto philosophy, because you see, just like Teto, Odessa initially started off as an outsider to Rome. He was a German by birth, who just saw a systematic flaw in the Roman Empire and used this to his advantage to overtake Rome in a relatively non-violent manner by using a coalition of veterans, just like Teto used a coalition of fans, before marching to the Roman capital, launching a coup with little loss of life, deposing Romulus Augustus from power, becoming the king of Rome before revising Rome. Much like how Krypton has revised their marketing strategy and overall the way how they manage Vocaloids because of feudaloids like Kasane Teto. Hopefully, if I haven't fucked this script up, you can understand what the Kasane Teto philosophy is deep rooted through Kasane Teto's characterization and overall design. As her two primary colours and the meaning behind them in colour theory supports my claims of the existence of the Kasane Teto philosophy. Teto's character design depicts her with red hair, and the colour red demonstrates strength, passion, and power. The colour reds also had many meanings throughout the ages, especially during the Roman Empire, with many high-ranking Roman militants wearing the colour red to distinguish themselves as powerful individuals. Odessa himself was portrayed to be wearing red on many occasions. Now, one of the primary colours of Kasane Teto's original design is grey, which is a neutral colour often associated with calmness, balance, and intellect, and this colour truly embodies the implementation of the Kasane Odessa. But if Tetoism was so effective, how come she's an already more popular than Miku? Well, all you need to do is just give it some time, because Kasane Teto is biding her time, as many of her songs like Furicata, Mesmerizer, Teto Territory, and Tetorus are all more popular than many of Hatsune Miku's songs already. So, I'll give it 20 to 40 years.
Present day. Present time.